ज्योतिर्नमो नमः। शिवं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यवर्धनम् नमदानम् आरोग्यवर्धनम् नमः दुःखविनाशाय दीपा ज्योतिर्नमो नमः। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। सर्वं विसर्जनाय खड्गहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो मानि प्रचोदयात्। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय विद्महे खड्गहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो मानि प्रचोदयात्। ॐ विश्वाय विद्महे खड्गहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो मानि प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति पृथ्वी शान्ति आपः शान्ति औषधया शान्ति वनस्पतये शान्ति विश्वेर शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तिर्साम शान्तिरेहि। ॐ धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोश्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमस्ते राजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे।
Khudiram's divine dream at Gaya. Sometime during the winter of 1835, Khudiram went to Varanasi and Gaya. He first visited Lord Vishwanath at Varanasi, and then in Chaitra, mid-March to mid-April, he went to Gaya. It seems he went to Gaya during that auspicious month because he knew that his departed ancestors would obtain boundless satisfaction if the rites were performed at the time. While staying there for a month, he performed all necessary rites according to the scriptures, and at last he offered a pinda at the feet feet of Lord Godadhar and Vishnu. The devout Khudiram experienced untold satisfaction and peace as he performed the prescribed obsequial rites for his ancestors. He was relieved from all anxiety as he fulfilled his obligations to them to the best of his ability. Reflecting on how God had endowed an unworthy person like himself with the strength to complete that task, his grateful heart was filled with humility and love. Peace and joy were with him, not only during the day, but also at night as he slept. One night, as he fell asleep, he started dreaming. He saw himself again offering bindas to his ancestors at the holy feet of Lord Godadhar in the temple. He also saw his ancestors in their luminous celestial forms, joyfully accepting the offerings and blessing him. After gazing at them for a long time, he could not control himself. Overwhelmed with devotion, he began to weep and bowed down to them, touching their feet. In the next moment, the temple was filled with a divine effulgence. He saw his ancestors standing on both sides of the shrine in reverential attitude with folded hands, praying to a luminous person seated gracefully on a beautiful throne. He saw that the complexion of this effulgent one was green as a grade of new grass, and that he was looking at Khudiram affectionately. Smiling, the effulgent one beckoned Khudiram to draw near. Like an automaton, he walked towards the effulgent one, prostrate before him with overwhelming devotion, and began to praise him with various hymns. The effulgent one was pleased and spoke the following words to him in a sweet, melodious voice. Khudiram, I am very pleased with your sincere devotion. I shall incarnate myself as your son and accept the loving service you offer me in your cottage. Listening to these amazing words, Khudiram's joy knew no bounds. But in this very next moment, he wondered how such a poor man as himself could feed and shelter such an exalted being. Filled with sadness, Khudiram sobbed, No, no, my lord, I am not deserving of this favor. It is more than enough that you have blessed me by graciously revealing yourself and wishing to be born as my son. If you truly would be my son, how could I, a poor man, be able to serve you? The divine being was even more pleased upon hearing Khudiram's plaintive words and said, Don't be afraid, Khudiram. Whatever you offer, I shall accept with satisfaction. Don't raise any objections to the fulfillment of my wish. At this, Khudiram was speechless. Conflicting emotions of joy and sorrow flowed with such force that he was left stupefied and senseless. At that moment his sleep broke. The opportunity soon arrived. The simple-hearted Chanda could not hide her thoughts from her husband. She often confided in her friends. How could she withhold anything from someone who was, by providence, closer to her than anyone else in this world? When Khudiram returned home from Gaya, Chandradevi took every opportunity to relate to him her visions and experiences, and whatever else had happened during his absence. One day she told him, "Listen, when you went to Gaya, one night I had a wonderful dream. I saw a luminous being lying on my bed. First, I thought it was you. Then, I realized that no human could have that kind of beauty. When I awoke, however, I felt that that being was still in this bed. The next moment I thought, does God appear to a human like this? Then it occurred to me, perhaps a wicked person had entered the room with evil intent, and the sound of his footsteps had caused my dream. The very thought frightened me. I immediately got up and lit the oil, but I found no one in the room, and the door was bolted as before. Nevertheless, I passed the night sleeplessness and in fear. I thought that perhaps someone had entered the room by carefully opening the bolt, and then, seeing me awake, ran away again, bolting the door as before. At daybreak, I sent for Pani and Prasanna. After telling them the whole story, I asked, "What do you think about it? Did anyone truly enter my room? I have no enemies in the village." But the other day, I had a little quarrel with Madhu Yogi over a trifling matter. Is it possible that he had entered my room secretly in that way? Both of them laughed. Is it possible? And they scolded, "You silly woman, have you become senile? Why are you behaving strangely because of a dream? Think of what other people will say when they hear this story. They will spread rumors about you. If you say to anyone else, we will teach you a lesson." Listening to them, I thought perhaps it really was a dream, and I decided not to mention it to anybody except you when you came back. Another day, I was standing in front of the Yogi Shiva temple and talking with Pani. Suddenly, I saw a divine light emanating from the image of Shiva. It filled the temple, and from the image of Shiva, rushed towards me like a wave. Overwhelmed, I was about to tell Pani about it, but suddenly the light engulfed me and entered my body. Stupefied with fear and wonder, I felt unconscious. Later, when I regained my consciousness with Tani's help, I told her my experience. At first, she was amazed, but then she said, "You had an epileptic fit. From then on, I have had the feeling that the light is still in my room and that I am pregnant." When I mentioned this to Tani and Prasanna, they scolded me and called me a foolish, mad, and so on. They explained to me that the feeling that I was pregnant was either coming from a delusion or a hypochondria, and they forbade me to disclose this to others. Well, what do you think about it? Did I have that vision by God's grace, or was it hypochondria? Even now, I feel that I'm with child. Heard of God. About 12 minutes before dawn, Chandradevi felt her first labor. Pani immediately escorted her to the shed, and as soon as she lay down, she gave birth to a male child. After providing Chunda with the necessary help, Tani turned her attention to the baby, but he had disappeared from where she had put it. Alarmed, Tani turned up the flame of the oil lamp and searched the hut. She found that the baby, who was covered with blood and fluid, had slid over the floor and was lying in the wood-burning stove, besmeared with ashes. Nevertheless, the baby did not cry. Tani then carefully lifted him up, washed him, and saw in the light of the lamp a wonderful, handsome child who looked as if he was 6 months old. In the meantime, a few of Chunda's friends, including Prasanna and some women of the Lahu family, had been summoned. When they arrived, Tani told them the good news. At the auspicious and solemn moment before sunrise, Guliram's humble holy cottage reverberated with the sound of conch shells proclaiming to the world the advent of a great soul. Being well versed in scriptures, Khudiram checked the astrological signs of the newborn child and found that he had come into the world at a very auspicious moment. It was Wednesday 6th, Falgun 1242 in the Bengali era, or 1757 in the Safar era, or Thursday 18th February 1836 AD. The child was born 12 minutes before sunrise, the auspicious second lunar day of Tright and Purva Bhadrapada. The 25th of lunar constellation had joined at the time of his birth, which created Shuddhyoga, a fortunate astrological conjunction. The sun, moon, and Mercury had come together in the astrological sign under which the child was born. Moreover, Venus, Mars, and Saturn were at the highest ascension. This indicated that the child would have an extraordinary life. Again, the sage Varashara's astrological chart showed that the planets Rahu, ascending node, and Ketu, descending node, were at the highest point during the child's birth. Finally, Jupiter, which was then in ascending mode, exerted a strong and auspicious influence on the child's destiny. Later, some distinguished astrologers studied the time of his birth and said to Khudiram that the child had been born during an auspicious arrangement of the planets. Astrological science decisively concludes such a person will be profoundly religious, highly respected, and will be always engaged in virtuous deeds. He will live in a temple surrounded by many disciples. He will establish a new religious order, and he will be renowned all over the world as a great soul and will be worshipped by the people as a part of Narayan. Khudiram's mind was filled with wonder. He realized with gratitude that the divine dream he experienced in Goya had actually come true. After performing the proper birth rites, Khudiram named the child Shambhu Chandra, according to his natal song. But to commemorate his wonderful dream in Goya, he decided to publicly call him Godadhar.
We will now have devotional singing. The hymn book has been circulated and shared with all, so please join in the devotional singing. Some of you have this old hymn book and some of you have the new hymn book. So we'll be starting with in the old book, hymn 18, which was Vedanta, which is in the new book, hymn 77. So hymn 18 in the old book, hymn 77 in the new book.
And I would also, we will also request you. We will also request you to join in the refrain. That's Hey Rama Krishna Tvai Bhakti Hine. Those who know the tune, please join in for the whole hymn. And those who are not familiar with the tune, can please join in for Hey Rama Krishna Tvai Bhakti Hine Kripa Kadaksham Gurudeva Nityam. The tune is simple and it follows, the same tune follows for every step. So please join in.
song is hymn 16 in the old book and hymn 79 in the new book. Brahma Rupa Madi Madhya.
Friends, you are also please join in for Tam Namami Deva Deva Ramakrishna Ishwaram.
is Gahure in the new book. It is hymn 75. We don't have it in the old book, but it has been shared in the group.
The lyrics have been shared in the group, and that Gahure will be followed by Ramakrishna Sharanam, which is hymn 13 in the old book and hymn 90 in the new book.
And watch words.
Thanks for watching.
We now have children from the
It's a
Johnson
lullaby.
School amongst us. Please say something on the subject.
Ramakrishna Bajamahanam Suksham Nishprapancham Nirvam Ganesubhashamisham Sarvabhutadivasan Trigunarahita Satchit Brahmadukam Varenam Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishna Bajamahanam Dhanabhakti Prashanti Pranayagam Devadukkha Srishtam Rutasarva Samadhim Chidmayam Komalantam Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishna Bajamahanam.
Good morning. The children are going to recite 4 Shanti mantras, well-known Shanti mantras, then the Gayatri mantra and 2 grammar songs. And there'll be more after that, I'll tell you about it later. So the first is Shano Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Come with me.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Ma Kashchit Dukkha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Then Purnamada.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
And Asato Om Asato.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Sahana Vavatu.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai.
Paropakaraya.
Paropakaraya Palantiriksha Paropakaraya Vahanti Nadya Paropakaraya Yudanti Ava Paropakaratam Idam Shariram.
The next is a longer Shanti mantra. It's before the Taittiriya Upanishad. So it's Om Shanno Mitra.
Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Sham No Bhavadvaryama Sham Na Indro Brihaspatihi Sham No Vishnu Rukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishami Ridham Vadishami Satyam Vadishami Dharmam Avatu Kalvataram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Good. So the next are some grammar songs, starting with the Sanskrit alphabet to music. Then there is a dedication to the great grammarian Panini, which is before the Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi grammar. And there's music for this. The alphabet again, but in a different form. It's the form of the Maheshwarani Sutrani. It's for Panini's grammar. So, but it's the same alphabet.
I-I-O, re-rek, A-O, I-ouch, I-am-a-razan, yama-yama-nam, jagat, jagadash, jabagadadash, kappa-chatata, chatata, kapai, shatasan-al. I-un, re-rek, A-O, I-ouch, harawarazan, yama-yama-nam, jagat, jagadash, jabagadadash, kappa-chatata, chatata, kapai, shatasan-al.
grammar endings. The endings to nouns, the first to 7 cases, single, dual, and plural, the endings.
Suaujas, iti pratama, aujas, iti tritiya nabyambis, iti tritiya nebyambyas, iti chaturthi nasibyambyas, iti panchami nas os-as, iti shashti ni-osu, iti saptami suaujas, iti pratama, aujas, iti tritiya nabyambis, iti tritiya nebyambyas, iti chaturthi nasibyambyas, iti panchami nas os-as, iti shashti ni-osu, iti saptami.
The last one is it's Adi Shankara. It's a the final liberation sextet. It's a 6-verse hymn by Adi Shankara with the modern music. I mean, composed recently by somebody in Ireland. That's it. Thank you very much.
तस्मै ते परमेशान कल्पयामि तदेकम् ओम मन्ये सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय श्री रामकृष्ण निवेदयामि।
After the beautiful rendition of all the hymns and the shlokas by the children of the John Scottish School, we now have Sangamitra singing a few bhajans.
So, Namaskar. I shared the lyrics of the two songs that I'm going to sing now. It is in the group. You are where you can see. So the first song is On This Blessed Day. This is originally composed and written by Rabindranath Tagore, and that has been translated in English. On this blessed day, let's all head to the place various divine grace covers all. Come, my friends, let's all rejoice. Come, my friends, let's all rejoice. On this blessed day, let's all head to the place various divine grace covers all. Come, my friends, let's all rejoice. Come, my friends, let's all rejoice. Will our hearts find peace and happiness in this warm and blissful haven? Will our hearts find peace and happiness in this warm and blissful haven? Come, my friends, let's all rejoice. Come, my friends, let's all rejoice. On this blessed day, let's all head to the place where various divine grace comes on. Victory bells ring in the corridor of life. Come, let's sing and reunite. Victory bells ring in the corridor of life. Come, let's sing and reunite. Come, my friends, let's all unite. Come, my friends, let's all unite. Adi Shubhodini Kitaro Bhodoni, Amrita Sharari Chalo Jai. Chalo, chalo, chalo Jai. Chalo, chalo, chalo Jai. Adi Shubhodini Kitaro Bhodoni, Amrita Sharari Chalo Jai. Chalo, chalo, chalo Jai. Chalo, chalo, chalo Jai. Adi Shubhodini Kitaro Bhodoni, Amrita Sharari Chalo Jai. So the next song that I'm going to sing, it is also known as Gadadhar Stotram. I've already shared the lyrics. So I know that it is not possible for you to just read it and sing along, but there are repetition of some words. So let us practice those words, and then I will sing, we all will join. So more we join, more merrier and blissful it is. So the sentence is Pranamami. Can you please repeat after me? Pranamami. Gadadhar. Pranamami Gadadhar. Are you starving? Pranamami Gadadhar. I am such a good teacher. Brahma Param. Brahma Param. Pranamami Gadadhar Brahma Param. So the tune is Pranamami Gadadhar Brahma Param. Pranamami Gadadhar Brahma Param. Pranamami Gadadhar Brahma Param. Pranamami Gadadhar Come on. Pranamami Gadadhar Brahma Param. Pranamami Gadadhar Brahma Param. शिव मोक्ष धनेश्वर
I would now like to ask Swami Puranandaji to give us a small introductory talk and introduce our members from the DCIF amongst us.
So, as you know, society has several objectives. First is to propagate the Vedanta philosophy to the island of Ireland, which is a universal philosophy originating from Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Secondly, to do something for the local population if we can, meaning this area, particular area and beyond. Thirdly, to propagate the message and personality of our sister Vedanta. And lastly, not in any particular order after the propagation of Vedanta, which is to involve ourselves actively in this universal, practical way of interfaith. So we are active members of the Dublin City Interfaith Forum. For this reason, I would like to introduce our guests, members of this forum. So we start from a representative of the Zen Buddhist Island, Reverend Fodo. And then we have Michael O'Sullivan, who has helped greatly in the Dublin City Interfaith work. He's retired now, or really retired. He wasn't tired in the first place, but really retired from the Columbans, who we regularly visit when we do retreats, residential retreats. And then we have Adrian Christo, who is the secretary, really, the executive secretary of the Dublin City Interfaith Forum. And I would request one of them to say a few words. I'm not looking at anybody in particular, but Michael, we can start with you, and then if you can just say a few words. Good. So side with you.
Age before beauty. Firstly, I just want to thank everybody here again for the wonderfully warm welcome we get here. I've been involved with Interfaith Forum for a good while, not quite as long as these two here, but I remember your premises in Blessington Street. I remember the warm welcome you used to always get there, and that's continued here. And it's a tribute to your community. And Adrian might say a little bit just generally about interfaith work. Obviously, we're living at a time where, you know, we need more of it. There's a lot of division in the world. And I think interfaith work can be something that can contribute greatly to that. But I thought today maybe, I know I've spoken here a few times, but I've spoken with Sister Vedanta, I've spoken about Sister Kananda, but never said anything about the man himself, Ramakrishna. And I thought I'd just say, and these obviously are very amateur work from somebody who hasn't really studied it, has learned a bit from yourself, and done a little bit of reading. But a few things that strike me as really important in terms of the contribution that this community has made to interfaith work in Ireland. I would say Swami, that yourself personally, but this community itself has made a really, really important contribution to interfaith work in Ireland. And I suppose that comes down to your own personal qualities and your community, but it also goes back to this man here. And something that strikes me about him. One thing that strikes me about him is I always try to associate music and religion, so I think they're the same wavelengths. And I really love hearing the music. I love hearing the children singing here and all the music. But I always sort of think that religious people are like a musical sensibility. But not all of them do, really. Like our professionally religious people are like professional musicians. They've learned all the notes and they know how to play them and they've rehearsed them, so but they don't really have that sensibility. And some religious people are like that. But this man wasn't. He had a really intense sense of the divine, which means that he could hear the music of the divine in other traditions. And I've read the stories about him, looking at the picture of the Madonna and finding himself in communion with Jesus, and his Sufi experiences and other experiences. I think that's really important in terms of interfaith work, is that it's not just doing good stuff. It's not just because we should be doing it. It's because it itself is a religious experience. And I've certainly found, and I've found talking to other people, that I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic Christian, but my faith is helped by my little bit of access to the divine through other traditions. And I think that's really centrally important, and why this community has been such an important part of the interfaith thing. The second thing, and you've heard a bit to it as well, is that obviously at the heart of all religious stuff is that sense of the divine, and that mystical sense. But that mystical sense itself, if it's just wrapped up in itself, can become sort of self-regarding and stuff, that you have to be out in the world and whatever. And that's central to your tradition as well, that notion of mission. And I've actually been out in the world and trying to improve the world and the world for people and the people for the world. And that seems to me to be the second thing I think is really, really important. And then the third thing I'd say is, what strikes me when I read any reading I've done about Ramakrishna is, and it's sort of appropriate that the day that's in the day is in the Christian tradition was Mothering Sunday, and now becomes Mother's Day, and that's become a secular sort of thing. But the whole role of mothers is so important. And that seems to me to be at the heart of Ramakrishna's appreciation of the divine, was that feminine mother quality. And that seems to me again to be something that all the religions of the world need to be able to access and to celebrate. And it seems to be key to me to the energy and the truth that's in your tradition. So there are things I've learned, picked up, want to learn a bit more about. Because it's Mother's Day today, I have a job to go back to, which is cooking dinner for all the mothers of my one's wife, so I can't stay with you for the day. But can I again just thank you for your hospitality, your warmth, and I hope you have a lovely day for the rest of the day. Thank you.
So, thank you everybody. I always love when I get an invitation to come to Vedanta. I've been here a few times, and I want to thank Swami Puranandaji and Swami Shantivrattanandaji for the invitation, particularly on the auspicious occasion of Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. There's so much that our traditions share. So I'm representing Zen Buddhism Ireland. We see the Buddha here on the altar as well. The great teachings of the Buddha. And Sri, or Swami Shantivrattanananda asked me to talk about peace and harmony, which seems like a very appropriate thing on this day, and something that Sri Ramakrishna was very much at the heart of his teachings. That harmony between all people and between all religions as well. And Michael so beautifully spoke about that. But of course, Lord Buddha very much taught peace and harmony. Was at the center of the Buddha's teachings. And something now in the tradition of Zen Buddhism we hold at the heart of our practice. But the Buddha was very clear that we needed two things to arrive at this place of peace. So we needed practice, and we also needed insight as well. So we needed these two things. And the Buddha, in terms of practice, he really emphasized the idea of cultivating certain virtues that led to this place of peace, that led to this place of harmony. And these virtues were kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy in others, and equanimity and calmness. So these great virtues, if we can cultivate these in our lives through practice, it leads to this place of great peace. And this is something that we can do every day, both for ourselves and in our interactions with other people. And then secondly, this idea of insight as well. The Buddha said no matter how many virtues we develop in this way, it is not fully rounded until we have this insight into the great non-duality of reality, that we are all undivided, we are all deeply connected. Because where there is division, there is conflict, and we see so much of that in this world at the moment. And it is to understand this undivided element that we have at the heart of every human being, at the heart of all reality itself. And this allows those virtues that he talked about to truly flower and to truly flourish, and for us to arrive at this place of peace. And this is something that I believe Sri Ramakrishna also believed so deeply and expressed so deeply as well. So I really love to have the opportunity to talk about that on this auspicious day as part of celebrating the day as well. And I thought I would end with just a little reading from my own tradition. So Zen, which of course as a Buddhist originated in India, but it came to China at one point, and there was a great Chinese master called Hongzhi. And what I think is so fascinating is how these ideas in every culture, and again this expresses the unity, in every culture arises. And Hongzhi arrived at something that I think Lord Buddha did, that Sri Ramakrishna did as well. And he expressed it, of course, through the words of his own time and his own age. So I'm just going to read them to finish up. And I hope you find something of what I've been talking about in these words. So, Hongzhi said, when your mind is thoroughly peaceful and your life is cool and serene, you will see the emptiness of all ages. There is nothing to be troubled by, nothing that can obstruct. Empty, absolute, and radiant. Clear, complete, and shining. It clearly exists for all ages, never dimmed. So thank you all, and have a great day.
Namaste. Namaste Swamiji. Namaste Swamiji. It's always a feeling of ease and a feel good sense when I come here. It's the welcoming, it's the ambience, it's the place, it's the fact that we know so many of you, that we've made friends over the years. And every time I come and I'm asked to say something, I usually write something down and prepare something. Because it's about a topic or a celebration or something. So today is a very important day in the life, in the calendar of celebrations of your community. You celebrate with Sri Ramakrishna. And while I was trying to write a few things down and looking Prabhupada said, something struck me. Well, what could I possibly say that it's not known about the first man who he was, that your two wonderful teachers haven't taught you, haven't told you about? So today I'm not going to say too much. I'll say something about it, because maybe how I interrelate with the legacy of Sri Ramakrishna, and I'll give you a little vignette of a very recent memory. A few months ago, around mid-August, our Interfaith Forum was invited to the Parliament of World Religions in Chicago. So that might give you an idea what I'm going to say. But rest assured that this order of Ramakrishna is well established in Chicago, is well known, and carries the tradition that Swami Vivekananda established there when he addressed for the first time. And at the time, in last August, they were celebrating the 130th anniversary since Swami Vivekananda addressed the Parliament of World Religions. Swami Shanti has a picture that I sent him. It was more like a courtesy or a bit of a joke of Swami Vivekananda's big photo there, his presence there. So coming back to what's celebrating here, that was the legacy that Ramakrishna left behind. And you're all celebrating it today. And you're his legacy as well. So I hope you'll enjoy the day, and because it's also Mother's Day, and I think we have quite a few mothers here in the community. There's also the International Women's Day, so they're all coming at once. What can I say? Just wish you a happy Mother's Day. You are all a source of inspiration, strength, and courage, and we wish you very well as we go on. Thank you.
I'm very glad our three guests did not say that they're always welcome and they're always here to enjoy the food. So I thank our three guests, an important component of one of our objectives here with our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji, and thank you to all of you. That was really lovely, and we are always happy because you always join in any of our events. It's never complete without your presence. Thank you very much for that. We are coming towards the close of our today's celebrations. We will have some concluding words by Swami Shanti Vivekananda.
यं वैदिकामन्त्राः दुषः पुराणाः इन्द्रं ययं मातरिश्वानमाहुः वेदान्तिनो निर्वचनीयमेकं यं शब्दविनिर्देशेन इशं विशन्ति शैवायमीशं शिव इत्यवोचन् यं वैष्णवा विष्णुरिति स्तुवन्ति बुद्धस्तताः नितिबौद्धजैनाः स श्री अकालेति च सिक्खसन्तः शास्त्रेति केचित् कतिचित् कुमारः स्वामेति मातेति पितेति भक्त्या यं प्रार्थयन्ते जगदीशितारं स एक एव प्रभुरद्वितीयः. Dear devotees, and it was a big Sanskrit couplet, for most of us we didn't understand everything. Okay, Swamiji is telling something of it with all devotion, we shall listen, and peace chant or something. It's a wonderful prayer which is based on our Rigveda idea or our Veda, the Upanishads, which goes back to 10,000 or 20,000 years. The overall translation of the Sanskrit mantra, which has been taught in many of our Indian schools, where we had learned this Sanskrit couplet during our school days. Yam Vaidika mantra Dusha Puranaha. Vedas and the Puranas, we have got 18 Puranas, 18 Upapuranas and 4 Vedas. All of them are addressing the Lord as Indra, Varuna, Marut, Shashanka, Rudra, or by other names. Indramyayam Mata Vishwanam, Vedantinonir Vachaneyam Eka. Whereas the Advaita Vedantin, the non-dualistic philosopher, he says, look, the divinity or the supreme self or the consciousness is only one. You can call by different names. Vedantinonir Vachaneyam Ekam. And really you can't describe. How much ever you try to describe, you can't really describe who is God, what is consciousness. Only one has to experience. Vedantinonir Vachaneyam Ekam Yam Shabdena Vinirdisham Shaivaya Misham Shivaitya Vocham. The people, the who love, we had blessed Shivratri 2 days before. The followers of Shiva, they address the God by the name Shiva. Shaivaya Misham Shivaitya Vocham Yam Vaishnava Vishnu Ritistuvanti. There are some people, class of people who follow Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu. For them, they address the Lord by the name called Vishnu or Narayana or Krishna or whatever. Then there are a couple of people who follow Tantra Shastras. They call the supreme consciousness as the primordial energy or the Shakti or the mother, which we are having the International Mother's Day. And there are some people, again, some they call as a Kumara. Kumara means Subramanya Kartikeya. Some call as Ganapati. And the followers of Buddha, they call the Lord as a Buddha or the supreme consciousness as Buddha. And the Jainas, they call the Lord from the different names called Tirthankaras. Like that we call by different names, Allah or Jesus or other, but there's only a God and we call it by different names. You call by any name, that is fine, but you have to be divine. You have to experience the divine. This is the overall meaning of this Sanskrit couplet. And again, this idea has come from our Upanishad, which is called Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. That the Lord or the existence or the consciousness is one, we call it by different names. So this idea, this philosophy, it is very common in our culture, Hindu culture, Vedanta culture, or in Vedas or Upanishads or whatever. And the same thing, because of the world wars and because of the so many internal conflicts inside religion and between religions also. There was a lot of bloodshed, there was a lot of conflicts and all. That is the time where Sri Ramakrishna descended on this earth. And he didn't give sermons like us, he didn't give talks like us much. Rather, he showed in his life itself that look, as many faiths, so many paths. Like every religion, every faith will take the path towards the God. And he himself practiced, like from Tantra Shastras, whatever we say, he worshipped, he started his worship as Mother Kali and he experienced the Mother Kali. And there are 5 types of sadhanas in the Vaishnava cult. He practiced that, he experienced the God. And there are 64 very difficult test sadhana in the Tantra Shastras. He practiced all the 64 types of sadhanas and he reached the ultimate. And afterwards, Advaita Vedanta, which we call Nirvikalpa Samadhi and Shravana Manidhyasana, Vedantic meditation, etc. He also followed that and he experienced that I am the divine, Aham Brahmasmi. So he practiced all the intra-religious faiths or intra-cults of Hinduism or Vedantic religion, we can say. Apart from that, he didn't stop there. He also practiced Islam, he also practiced Christianity, also to the extent. And after all these 12 years of intense sadhana, he made a comment, or he made his teaching in a essence, Jato Mat Tato Pat. In Bengali we all know that. It is as many faiths, so many paths. And the same idea, based on this same idea, Swami Vivekananda gave a beautiful clarion call in the Chicago's Parliament of Religions that we don't tolerate religion, we accept other religions also. Well, recently when I was discussing with some religious leaders, when they heard this, they were really mesmerized. Oh, we don't believe in toleration, we believe in acceptance, universal acceptance. That's a beautiful idea, and that's why we are part of DCAR, where this idea has to be brought more and more in every part of it. So apart from this harmony of religions, Sri Ramakrishna brought very two important facts for us. One is God exists and we can experience. And the other thing is, whatever Vedas you say, Quran you say, Bible you say, and Zoroastrians have got their own scriptures, and every religion, every cult, they have got their own scriptures, and most of them, whatever, from spiritual point of view, from the philosophical point of view, whatever is there, everything is experienceable. It is not an hypothetical argument, it is just not any political imagination, rather it is possible. And when we read Sri Ramakrishna's life, way back when I was just young of 13 or 14 years, when I got my first copy of Life of Sri Ramakrishna, when I was reading, that's what I understood by the time when I finished off of his reading the first Life on Sri Ramakrishna. So God can be experienced even now. That attracted me towards going to Sri Ramakrishna or following his teachings or whatever. Now, well, when we discuss all these things, as we spiritual aspirants, as the seekers of the divine, we may get a question. Even today, at this hustle bustle of life, and this with the 5G network and with whatever say, even today can we experience God? Can we experience the self and can we experience the God? This is the one of the questions which can really haunt many of our spiritual aspirants' mind. Yes, even no doubt it should. And recently, one of the volunteers who comes here also is a young volunteer. His own experience is the experience with his grandfather. When I heard, really had a goosebumps. I felt a goosebumps. Like his grandfather, 2 months before he passed away, at the age of 92 or 93. And after his finishing, from his young days, he was a spiritual oriented person. Every day he used to repeat the Lord's name, and he used to meditate, and if possible, he used to go to ashram and he used to attend evening vespers, because many times we get a question, what is the use of attending vespers? So by attending vespers, we can inculcate spiritual practice or values. Anyhow. So he used to do it. Once by 50 plus, when he finished more or less his family responsibilities, then though he had a big house and a lot of rich family members, from his home, from his big palace like building, 2 kilometers away there was a farmland. So there he built a small shed, tin shed. He stayed with there, and he had a square meal, morning once, evening once, just 2 times square meals. And most of the time he used to spend in contemplation, meditation, prayer, apart from that looking after his farmland. Then at the 85, 88, because of his age-old problems and loss of memory and all, his family members, they forced and they brought him back to the house. And he was staying there. Of late, a few months before, one fine day, he called all his family members, like wife, husband, daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, all of them he called, look, I have led the complete life and I have got full satisfaction. I have nothing to complain and I have nothing to ask for. And my master, Sri Ramakrishna, has assured me that he will come and take me. And he has assured me that he will come and take me. So my days are numbered. And one Saturday, Friday or Saturday, he said, one Friday or Saturday, I will leave my mortal coil. So don't grieve for me, don't bother for me. So obviously no one will clap or no one will be happy. Obviously all their family members were unhappy, they were feeling morose or whatever. They tried to plead him, no, you stay for some more time, we want you, or you ask your master Sri Ramakrishna that let him give some more grace period so that you can leave. All these things, discussions happened. Then he said, sorry, I am done. I would like to go back to my master and I would like to stay back with my master and all. He said, then they didn't have any other go, they kept quiet. And one fine day, Friday night, at late night, he called his daughter. He asked the daughter to give Charanamrita. Charanamrita is about the holy water. After doing a puja, whenever we give the ritualistic bath for the god, that ritualistic water is called Charanamrita. He asked the Charanamrita, please give me, can you give me? He received the Charanamrita. He started repeating the Lord's name. While repeating the Lord's name or remembering the Lord's name, with a very gracious face and with a happy face, he left his mortal coil. So that happened in night, in India. One of his grandson is in America. He is now also in America. So you can very well imagine in India, if it is a night, in the day, in America more or less will be daytime. So he's also who has got spiritual instructions and initiation. So morning he had got up, he finished his ablutions and he sat for his regular meditation. While he was meditating, he had a wonderful experience that his grandfather is waiting for someone wearing with a fresh white clothes, white shirt and white dhoti. We all know that Indian costume, white dhoti. And he's sitting and he's waiting for someone as if some guest is supposed to come. To welcome the guest, he's just waiting, his grandfather. Then he sees that Sri Ramakrishna comes in the silver chariot. Silver chariot. He enters the grandfather's house and he said, "My dear, come on. The time is now. We go back to our abode." And he holds his hand. Sri Ramakrishna holds his hand. Grandfather follows Sri Ramakrishna, and both of them, they sit in the silver chariot and they go to the abode, which we call, from the mythological language, which we call Ramakrishna Loka. So he traveled. After 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, he receives a phone call from India. "We are sorry to say that your grandfather is no more." See, where is India? Where is America? And his grandfather is experiencing that some silver chariot has come, master has come, he's holding his hand and he's taking. So this type of stories, we have got a lot of stories like this, which is a life examples. When we hear such type of stories, probably it ushers or it brings back or it rejuvenates our faith or our shraddha or our bhakti or devotion in the master or in the divine or in the supreme self. So may this day be one of the blessed day, and every day let be blessed day for all of us, so that let us have more and more the experience of the divine. Let us have the experience of the self more and more. I fervently pray to Sri Ramakrishna so that he will bless all of us, so that we shall experience the divine, we shall be happy in the irrespective of our life incidents or whatever. And also I thank on this International Mother's Day to our mothers, because I think in one of my talk also I told, before coming to Ireland from India, I thought I would like to reduce my weight. Then I thought, okay, in foreign we don't get good food and all, or rather most of the time we have to cook ourselves. So we'll cook what we cook, we don't know, so I can reduce my weight easily. But after my coming, I felt it is no more, I am not able to do it. Because we have that wonderful group called Sharda Service Group or Sadhu Seva Group. Every day, till now, I have not missed a single day, every day. Different type of dishes I get from different mothers here. So I have got Holy Mother, so many mothers here. So on this International Women Day, I thank all of you and I convey my respects and regards to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. I know I said we are coming to the close of our session. So we have a surprise presentation by Malvika, and I will let her lead it.
Please help me by singing and clapping so that all the googlets are covered.
Kevalam,
now ask Professor Siddhartha Sen, chairperson from the executive committee here, to say the vote of thanks. Okay.
So, first of all, it's my pleasant duty to thank all those involved in today's celebrations. There was youth in prominence. We had a group who chanted in Sanskrit, who were from the Balu Kulam. Then there was songs by Juma, and there was a reading by Miss Basu. I just know her pet name. And there was the group from John Scotus School, which was extremely interesting to see them perform and do it in rhythm and so on. And then Changu Mitra was stunning in her singing and trying to get everyone to join in. And we had then the distinguished people from the interfaith who were very, very appropriate, as they all made the point that Ramakrishna was someone who was encouraging, or not encouraging, who lived, and as stressed by Swami Shantivatananda, who it was not a question of toleration, but a question of acceptance as different paths for the same goal. Now, the connection with the Dublin interfaith is due to Swami Punananda, and he has played a very active role in the way this center has been operating. And we'd like to thank both the Swamis for all the work they've been doing, and for the many, many volunteers who you see constantly running in, putting things in order and so on. I think later on today, Swami Punananda is going to talk about Ramakrishna and his message, where he will go into greater detail. But today, some of the points were made by Swami Shantivatananda. Now, I'm a theoretical physicist by training, and the thing I liked about the Vedanta, where there was this beautiful original interpretation by Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, but the underlying thing was the search for oneness. And the search for oneness was rooted in what is meant by reality. And this is a common goal in science as well. Theoretical physics, you have this. And then there is the thing that what you're searching for is not what you see. And that again has been now abundantly established by science. So the ramifications of all of these are not just intellectual pleasures, but they are these saints and sages and so on, they're saying it's a destiny of man. It is not something you cannot escape. It's not you have to do it because it's good for you, but that's the destiny of man. And that, I think, is a very, very uplifting message which is present there. Now, when this message first came to the West, the Nobel Prize winner, Romola, when he came across this, it's a very interesting the way he came across it. There's a man called Dhan Gopal Mukherjee, and he was persuaded by Josephine MacLeod to write something on Ramakrishna. And he wrote a lovely book called The Faces of Silence. And that actually explained the process of self-realization. And Romola, who was inclined towards mysticism, loved it. And in 1929, he wrote a biography of Ramakrishna. And 1930, he wrote a biography of Vivekananda. And at the beginning of the thing, this is what Romola said. I am bringing to Europe, as yet unaware of it, the fruit of a new autumn, a new message of the soul, the symphony of India bearing the name of Ramakrishna. Now, of course, he was a literary person and could write with great style. And so we here are part of the Ramakrishna Society, the group. And as you enter the Belur Math Ramakrishna organization, they have put in a new gate. And on the top of the gate, they have their motto. And the motto is, for one's own liberation and for the welfare of the world. I hope all of us here would remember that, and in these troubled times, where there's so much conflict going on, if we realize this oneness, there is hope for all of us. Thank you very much, all of you.
We will now have Pushpanjali, and after the Pushpanjali finishes, we will have the traditional cake cutting ceremony where all the children would be asked to come over. So for the Pushpanjali, there will be water to clean our hands before we are offered the flowers. So it is basically tar. We will be chanting the mantras and we will do it. So if you can just stay in your place.
So we're having a Pushpanjali now, as you know. So everyone will get flowers. Afterwards, we will be, I'll be chanting mantra. Please repeat after me. Then afterwards, you can also pray yourself that you are offering the flowers at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. And if you got any prayers or any wishes or any difficulties, you can also ask that please let us be free from all these difficulties. Let the whole world be with peace and love. And let us all have mutual understanding, good understanding. Let us all go well. Let us be happy. Let us be peaceful and healthy and wealthy also. And 3-4 flowers also one can take, and it can also share with, can be shared with others. Yeah. It can expedite. Yeah.
Now we're study again. Now we're study.
Flowers everyone? Okay, no problem. You can hold all of it.
I'll put it in.
As a representation of other devotees who are not come. Yeah, everyone has got flowers, I believe. Yeah. Yes, you can repeat after me. Om Aim Esha Sachandana Pushpanjali Sangaya Savarnaya Sashaktikaya Saparshadaya Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Sri Ramakrishnaya Voshata Pranama mantra. ओम स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Once the flower offerings are returned, I request all of you to please sit down back in your places. We will have the aarti now. We'll sing the hymn 1 and then the hymn 3 in both the books.
Yeah. कृष्ण की जय। जय लोक माता निवेदिता की जय।
We now would like to get all the children up here for the cake cutting. And you have to sing loudly as well.
I've shared the Sanskrit lyrics in the group. Janmadinamidam. Sing loudly. Okay, we'll first happy birthday first. We'll sing happy birthday first and then Janmadinamidam.
Shriya?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ramakrishna. Happy birthday to you.
Now the Sanskrit one.
Thank you.
जन्मदिनमिदं हे प्रिय सखे जन्मदिनमिदं हे प्रिय सखे शन्तनोतु ते सर्वदा मुदं शन्तनोतु ते सर्वदा मुदं प्रार्थयामहे भवशतायुषी प्रार्थयामहे भवशतायुषी ईश्वरः सदा त्वं च रक्षतु ईश्वरः सदा त्वं च रक्षतु पुण्यकर्मणां कीर्तिमर्जय जीवनं तव भवतु सार्थकम्